Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and welcome back to episode 10 of Full Metal Panic, Run, Running, Ran. A bit of an interesting title, but it kind of makes sense for what's going on. This episode is very more character-oriented. We learn a few details. We get to see kind of Tessa in her kind of more finer moments, and we kind of see mind games on both sides and how they tackle the situation. And I won't go with go with a recap, but they have two different techniques how they're employed. Though I do want to discuss one of the weirder ones. So in the beginning episode, after Chidori sees Tessa, they kind of have their conversation. Tessa kind of messes with Sosuke and Chidori, like, yeah, I'm not. She fakes pretend that she's actually captain and everything, kind of. Just, as a little fun and just cheeky moments because, it's easy to do. And because these two are, because Sosuke is so straight laced up and Chidori's kind of easy to read. So she has a little fun, but, eventually comes around, yes, this is the truth. And when they have to talk with the prisoner and everything, they mention that he's got a transmitter and they have to get rid of it. At first they decided they were going to cut it out, but Chidori's like, you can use a microwave and that'll destroy it. And I'm like, I don't think the science is good for that. I would have been very cautionary about that. It doesn't blow a fuse in his arm or anything. It just kind of short circuits out. I would probably say it would mess with the Wi-Fi at best, but how long that would work, I'm not sure. I don't know. I wouldn't trust the science. I would have raised my eyebrows. I'm surprised both Tessa and Sosuke kind of agreed to this. I don't know. Just seemed a bit funky. Anyway, so they take care of that, and they decide to go to a school, and while they're there, they kind of have a little bit of chatting. They basically Tessa, she kind of breaks down Takumi. Kind of talks about his family. She's got an older sister. Talks about her life. Tessa she knows how to do a simple interrogation. She's very open and friendly. She gets them to open up, and because of that, kind of later on when the terrorist group decides that they're going to probably kill Chidori and Tessa because Chidori's an idiot. He says don't kill them, but then they are given orders not to. Now, on the other side of the flank, we have when Callahan gets kidnapped by the older sister. This is who she is. She is obviously a very bitchy woman. I've seen her character type in plenty of anime, and you might think, oh yeah, I can fix her. But we do learn a little bit more about backstory. But the reason she saved Callahan because she believes that the organization Mithril is an opposing threat to them. There's no reason to come concern, given what Mithril is capable of doing. That is obviously not the case, but she kind of gets in her head that could possibly happen, leading to believe the next episode, what they have in store. You could understand that. But yeah, so she her mind game is to try to get Callahan to maybe to side with her instead. She can see that he is a valuable person, but try to get him on their side and coax him. And she tells the backstory of 821, basically how their commander, Shinji Takichi, he was a mercenary, and then eventually, kind of after the war, he started a little island, a group of people to take care of rescues, and make them good fit for society. But when the government went to go investigate, they stepped on something they shouldn't have, and they kind of blamed them. And so now she wants completely revenge on the government by basically turning Okinawa into a flaming disaster. So yeah, perfectly sound person, want revenge, okay, but they have their kind of two little mind games, I would based off things and how I remember, it is more obvious that Tessa is a lot more convincing. You could say she's a way better commander in this case. She can do the more convincing. But we do kind of learn about her older brother, who's very smart. At age 4, he was able to do a problem that she couldn't do. she could have done at 6. So she comes from a very interesting family, and like the best way that to go along was to be kind of separated. It seemed like that was how that was worded, but the everything goes badly, of course, because he manages to take Chidori's phone, because Chidori puts her thing in her pocket. I given the scenario and given how this kid's behaving, I don't know. I would have given the phone to Sosuke and put it in his front pocket. Chidori is not the brightest in the situation, as later when they do a hostage transfer, when Sosuke makes a distraction, she tries to keep the kid, and that ends up failing. Yeah, you're smart, but you're also a bonehead, you blue-head bimbo. All right, or blue-haired tsundere. So she could have done something better, but. So that was kind of the majority episode. There is a belief that Sosuke is dead, but we know that he's a capable person. He's obviously lived, and of course, there's a preview for the next episode, and we'll be seeing our giant mecha battle. I'm curious if because I think when I did some checking, this is it. It's like I think about 5 episodes or 4 or so. So it might continue. We might have 2 more episodes. We'll have like an initial battle, and then. We'll at like the start of the battle, and then the end of the episode will be the next battle will be the end. Maybe I'm not 100% sure, but from the look, because I thought the episode series was 5 episodes, but it's more like 4. So, so that volume 2 is 4. I could be wrong. We'll see. But this episode, I did like it a little bit. That you get to see Tessa's more better side, and we could see that the love triangle has begun. She, it's obvious that she kind of flirts with Sosuke. Like, are you two actually dating? Well, she doesn't necessarily. No, she doesn't say that. But Sosuke gives tells them like they're not very good friends, and so it's like, oh, hello, I can do that because she was like, we could be 16, we're boyfriend girlfriend. She definitely gives out the vibe that she wants to be Sosuke's girlfriend in both this episode and the previous one. So we do see the bit of a love triangle. There also we get I think in the light novel it's introduced a little bit later, but we do know that Tessa is Catholic. She does give the hand cross symbol. It's not, and it's kind of very subtle way. I don't know, maybe a newer audience wouldn't necessarily pick up on that, but given I've watched MASH and because I've read the light novels, I know that for a fact that she is Catholic and very deeply religious. I'm when I read the novels, I'm curious about how that gets brought up because I think it's an inner monologue between her and Sosuke that conversation gets brought up, but I could be wrong, or maybe it happens later or something. I don't remember. Well, we'll get into it when I do volume 2, probably the week after. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, overall fine episode. I just hate the fact that Chidori was a fucking bimbo idiot and do as they say because they could have. So I think it was going to be obvious like a mecha fight, but there could have been less hostage situation, if you catch my drift. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully have a wonderful day. I don't know if I'm going to be doing episode 11 on Friday. We'll see how that happens. I think I'm going to tell, I think my Uncle Paul wants to go see F1. I'm not sure if we're going to see it Friday or the weekend. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know what will happen. And there's also other Digimon stuff happening, so we will see. Anyway, hopefully have a rest of a wonderful day. See you guys next time.